Chris Keys right there. We got fast tremolo, we got slow tremolo.
What else do you want?
What else do you want? I give you the TremLord, Lord of the Lord of the Trem, brought to you by the good people at Orange. So the TremLord, as you might have guessed from this play-in, to me the cool thing that set this amp across is this rich tremolo. But here's where it gets cool. So you got 2 speeds with the touch of a button. So what they're going for is that kind of classic 60s tube amp sound. And back in the 60s, it seems like the only real effects pre-wah-wah pedal was just tremolo and verb. You know, that's really what guitar players utilize. And this takes it kind of the next level, because if you look at top here, you have 2 different controls for trem, where you can set one at one tempo and the other at another one, and kind of vary with the flip of a switch. Also, with the flip of a switch, you can turn it on and off, and with the flip of a third switch, you can turn your reverb on and off. And this is maybe one little point of that I'd like the people in R&D to consider. To me, like I'm running 2, as you can see, I'm running 2 different pedals right now. One to turn it on and off, and a second one to control, the second switch to control the tempo of it. And I kind of wish they would have gone with like a Fendery style. It doesn't come with a pedal, so it'd be great if they threw it in, because you're going to want to control this with your feet. It's such a great feature. I mean, tremolo is why you'd buy this amp. So I'd love it if they had it in one switch where you could go from on, off, and adjusting it. But something to consider, you know, in R&D down the road. But for right now, they have an on and off switch for the verb, and then a tremolo tempo switch, and then an on and off for the tremolo. So 3 pedals in total. Would be great if they could make it into 1 or 2. Just a side note, do what you like with this information. Let me tell you about this, all the other features. So as you can see, along with this tremolo, you've also got a great verb that is just wet as you'd like. So some rich wetness right there. And then other than that, all you have is volume and bass control and treble control. And Orange does these weird kind of hieroglyphics that are kind of fun, but you can figure it out. Once you know what they mean, you know what they mean. Other features include an effects loop, which I'm not using right now. And let's see, it has a post-tremolo buffered effects loop that won't degrade your tone. So rather than running things in front of it, you can run this. I've got a delay through it right now. So for you effects loop people, and I'm sure you're out there, great option. I don't tend to use effects loops because I just prefer to have everything just in front of it, but to each their own, right? Let me see, the other ingredients include an Italian design La Voce speaker featuring high headroom and noticeable smooth and top end response. And from what I've been playing so far, that seems like the case. This tremolo that I've been going on and on about is a tube driven tremolo. And you know, I think you do kind of hear that warmth, that tubey warmth in it. You know, maybe I'm imagining it, but it seems like you do hear all those things. There's a selectable switch on front that gives you, they call it headroom or bedroom, where you can switch, and then another switch inside or up underneath the chassis where you can cut it in half. So between these two switches, you have everything from 30 watts to 15 watts to 2 watts to 1 watt. So you can kind of tailor your volume really to any scenario, and that's great. Let's see, other than that, sorry, a little glitch with my guitar, high miles on this thing. Other ingredients include 3 12AX7 and 2 12AT7 preamp tubes, 4 EL84s, spring reverb, and let's see, different outputs for 8 ohms or 14 ohms, and just a tight little package. Why don't I give you a different guitar so you can just hear a different tone on it, and we'll see how it takes pedals. Keeping with the single coil thing, let me put on my old 66 Strat, and you can see what that does. Dreamy, right? Probably a little wet up there. Let me turn that down a bit. And that's with the volume pretty goosed up. Let me go ahead and just dime this pig, and this is on its loudest setting. So my apologies, Chris. This might be a little punishing for you. And you can hear that verb gets a little, as you turn up that volume, your verb gets a little more out of control, which I kind of like. Turn it down to a more reasonable level. And that does sound very kind of 60s tubey amp to me. Kind of got that vibe. I'll roll down that bass a little bit. I like the simplicity of it. I like, I like those tones, and I like the kind of ear candy with the tremolo. It's not particularly loud. A 30 watt, like a 30 watt AC30, granted, 212s, but very loud. This isn't a super loud amp, which again, a lot of those 62 amps, some were not particularly loud. It's all sort of, it's funny about thing about wattage, like a 100 watt amp is not twice as loud as a 50 watt amp. In fact, sometimes it's barely even noticeable, the difference depending on the maker. So, but this is loud enough to get it done, but not loud enough to drown out a drummer, which, every now and then you kind of want to do. Hey, let me put on some humbuckers, and you can see what it does with that. And let's see how it takes pedals. I've got a little overdrive in front of it. Let me turn everything to about noon, except for the verb and tremolo, and you can kind of see what it does there. Nice, right? But it takes pedals really well. I've got this sugar drive in front. Nice, right? Cool tone. So that is the TremLord. To read the full written review, go to premierguitar.com. While you're online, check out Facebook, Twitter, all that Instagram stuff.
Buy one of those shirts.
But yes, God, good idea, right? Yeah, buy one of these shirts. Buy a couple of them. Why not? Because they're white, so they will get stained eventually. So you're going to want to buy two. I can only wear a white shirt twice before I ruin it. This is the first time on this one, but next time there will be a stain on it, I guarantee. So, so till next time. Oh, actually, let me go ahead and give you, for our play out, let me dime this pig with some humbuckers. You can see what it does, and we'll just get out of here. Till next time.